Brady and what he detests. Strawberries, banana ends, laziness, and the NFL's jersey number relaxation rule change. TV12 posted yesterday on Instagram that it's going to make for a lot of bad football. So Brandon, Brady's objection to the New Jersey rule is blank. Not the New Jersey rule. The New Jersey rule is blank. He loves New Jersey.
Right. I absolutely love this. We need to see more of our star players like this, the quarterbacks, like pushing back on the NFL. Absolutely love this. But this is about Tom. That's the answer. Why? Because he's concerned about one thing, the linebackers. That's it. I'm an old school guy, kind of. Like, I don't want to see the wide receivers in single digits because it just doesn't look right to me. So, yeah, I'm a rain on people's parade. But for Tom, it's just about strategy. Why? At the linebacker position, that's where protection and everything is set up pre-snap. He's looking at 52's the mic, 52's the mic. Once he does that, he's telling the offensive line where they're pushing to. The offensive line, the first people they're looking at is 52, 54, 56. So for them now to have to retrain their brain to identify a linebacker with a single digit or a safety coming down in a box in a single digit, it's just confusing. So this is all about Tom. That's all this is.
You want to know what fill in the blank is after hearing B. Marsh? Tom Brady, jersey number rule is, like, you got all the rules in your favor, B. Marsh. Come on. Y'all sound like some sissy whining offensive dudes. Oh, I got to identify 11 versus 52. Oh, 50 and
I'm
90.
taking you inside his brain.
There's going to be a whole lot.
You guys don't have to think on that side.
There's going to be a
have to think on that side of the ball.
Football. So we're equating bad football to the defense actually having an opportunity to have an advantage in one aspect of the game in the National Football League. Wilds, I don't even want to talk about this anymore. I can't even believe that this is a conversation. I can't believe Brandon Marshall said that he loves this. I think this is ridiculous. Tom, I love you. I've been an apologist. I'm actually almost borderline a groupie of you. But that is ridiculous. I'm not okay with it, Wilds. I think it's ridiculous. I don't like it. Yeah, I might have took it too far.
I have a new strategy.
You're right.
New strategy. My answer is MJ12. MJ12, what's that? In a game against the Magic, Michael Jordan's jersey was stolen, and he had to wear the number 12. There's Michael Jordan, number 12. So we know that the mixing up of numbers really affects Tom Brady. So if you're the equipment manager,
that's not Michael
right
Jordan
before
anymore.
the game, immediately before the game, you go up, you're like, hey, bad news. Someone stole all of our Falcons jerseys. Don't know where they are. We had to switch our numbers all around. And guess what happens at halftime? Oh my goodness, this thief is a cat burglar. It's Anne Hathaway in here grabbing everybody's jersey. We had to switch our numbers again. Nothing we can do about it. We have to keep on switching our numbers. It will befuddle Tom Brady. He let us in on something that bothered him, and it's up to opposing coaches and equipment managers to take advantage of it, Jenna.
You can have an amazing scheme. So when you think about Dan Quinn leaving Atlanta or being fired from Atlanta, coming in as a defensive coordinator, he has to do his job if they're going to focus on offense, because you got a guy in Kyle Pitts who literally is a wide receiver. This dude can do it all. You can put him inside, you can put him outside. It's a matchup nightmare. What I love about this, it reminds me of my Chicago days when we had Martellus Bennett in his prime. We had Alshon Jeffrey entering his prime, young pup. You had me in my prime, you had Matt Forte. What do you do if you're a defensive coordinator? You can't play coverage. You can't load the box. And when you do play coverage, you got a running game. So this is just absolutely dangerous for anybody playing against the Dallas Cowboys if they go out there and they put together the right scheme and spread the ball around. Now, the key is this, LeVar. They have to play unselfish football. They got to understand if they play together, this offense could be dangerous. But there's one ball, and they got 5 guys that can be, number 1 in offense when it comes to production and getting the ball when you look at that roster. So they got to play unselfish ball, LeVar.
I think it's a bad thing that I've never tried sugar plums before, but hearing Jerry Jones say sugar plums made me want sugar plums. So I'm going to try to find some. I think we should do it on the show one day. It's a great thing to want Kyle Pitts. It's a great thing to do what you can do to get Kyle Pitts. I'll take it a step further for you, B. Marsh. If you think about a defense as porous as the Dallas Cowboys has been, if you have an offense that is basically unstoppable, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Kyle Pitts, Gallup, and you're talking about if my man Ezekiel in the backfield actually shows up this year, and Dak Prescott, it's a wrap, right?
Right.
So if I'm a defensive player, can we please do this? Can we please recognize the fact that these are National Football League defenders, meaning they made it to the pinnacle of the sport. So they are there for a reason. Now, if you have an offense that becomes virtually unstoppable, then you can actually be a decent and an average defense and still have success. Why? Because game plans change when you take a team out of what the character of the team is. If you're playing from behind, and if you're playing from behind with multiple points, multiple touchdowns, possessions that you have to be able to win a game, it makes it an easier game for a defensive coordinator to call. It makes it easier for a defensive unit to play. So I think it's a great idea to try to add more offense, even though you need to address the defensive side of the ball, Wilds.
LeVar, I thought you were going to go defense. I thought Brandon was going to be all-pro offense, and I thought you were going to be like, you know what? Defensive guys need a lot of love, too. But I'm with you guys. I love offense, and I understand that the Cowboys are a little bit like the guy at the gym who is always doing the bench press and then skips leg day. It's like, hey, you know, legs are half your body. He's like, yeah, I know, but more bench press today. It's like, okay, bench it out, buddy. You look great. It's because here's the thing. The way that Jerry Jones spends his money shows how much he loves the offense. He spends the 10th most money on offense, spends the 31st most money on defense. But, LeVar, I think you make a great point that if they're playing ahead, all of a sudden, maybe the defense doesn't matter. And we know that the Cowboys are a very sentimental team. We know that they always love the triplets. Well, how about we introduce the quintuplets? 5 guys that can make it happen on offense. I just love it. You know, you always said there's one ball, Brandon. Unfortunately, in this graphic, there's 2 balls. Kyle Pitts gets his own special ball. That's how good the offense is going to be. So the question is this, LeVar, I'll throw it back to you. Do you see the Cowboys actually making this move because Jerry Jones has been so vocal about wanting Kyle Pitts?
I mean, you would have to assume that that would be it, but I tend to wonder, because this is that time of posturing and pre-draft negotiations. Are you putting it out there because you want to have this opportunity? Are you putting it out there for other alternative reasons? Is this a straight up, like, I love the guy, or is it a smokescreen? I don't really know what his true intentions are, and you never really do in these moments. This is a poker game. And so to me, you know, him putting it out there the way that he is, how realistic is it that he works to get that pick, Wilds? I'm really not sure, but B. Marsh, I will say this. You cannot go wrong with getting Kyle Pitts on your team, no matter what team you are. So it comes across to me as just a simple way of saying this is a can't-miss prospect in this year's draft, Marsh.
Right. And look, Jerry Jones is savvy. He's a marketing genius. We know that. Jerry's world, how he built that. But there's no reason for him to go out there and go and talk about Kyle Pitts in a way just to trick everybody else in the NFL, to trick them on what they're going to do on the defensive side or what they could do possibly in the draft. Like, this is just Jerry Jones really showing us who he is and how he loves Kyle Pitts, Jenna. He has no reason to go out there and do otherwise.
Unless he's just a terrible poker player. I mean, if Nick was here, that would be his take. And he's like, this is what I'm doing, and he shows us all his cards. All right, we're going to take a turn, talk some Tom Brady, who happens to be a very good poker player. Making that up, no idea. Usually we see him fired up on the sidelines. Yesterday, the guy was on fire on Instagram. We're going to explain the root